Okay, in this video, I'm just going to give you a quick walk through the strokes gain calculator. Now, this is a bit of a passion project. It's taken me about 2 months to build. It's not a replacement for, say, Upgame, ShotScope, one of those ones, but it is a free tool and gives you a lot of insight. So I've just put in 9 holes of golf here. And what you can see at the top, we've got score to par, total strokes gained, and this is broke down into each area. And then you've got some stuff that as a coach, I really like, looking at par 3, par 4, par 5 analysis, how many birdies, bogeys, double bogeys or worse we make in traditional stats. But then when we go into the extra tabs, we can see that we get a breakdown into driving. So we've got total strokes gained driving, fairways and reg. Average driving distance won't be perfect for reasons I'll explain below in the text. We can also look at strokes gained on par fours versus par fives off the tee. Approach, I think this is really cool. So we've got a total strokes gained approach, greens and regulation. Under that, we do have this graph where we can look at strokes gained broken down by yardage, which again is really useful to know what you should target as a player. Couple of fun ones in here. I've got our average proximity. So this is if you do hit a green, how far are you away for your first putt? For me, again, that's kind of useful because it can tell you what types of first putts you should be practicing, what that number is. And then approach gained here is just how many times you've hit an approach shot that's better than the PGA Tour. So I'll get onto that. This is against the PGA Tour. It's kind of a nice stat to see how many shots you hit that beat the PGA Tour average. When we move on to short game, we've got total strokes gained short game, up and down percentage, and sand saves. I haven't had any in this one, didn't hit any bunkers. And then again, I've got a graphic below that just breaks this down so we can look at strokes gained for bunker saves, if we had any, when we're in the fairway and when we're in the rough. These are all within 50 yards. And then finally putting. So again, this is sort of the top level stuff where we've got strokes gained putting, total putts and putts per hole. And then a breakdown of your strokes gained putting performance by distance. So that's a quick run through, I suppose, what the output looks like. If we look at how this works, we've got this tab on here, and I'll reset it just so we're at the start. And for each hole, what you've got to do is just put in the par, put in your start location, which should be the tee. We'll put in the first hole, which was 330. Finish location on this hole was the rough. I was 126 yards away, and we hit add shot. And then it should automatically update here. So then my next shot finished on the green, and I had 32-foot putt, so went to that, and then I hit it up to 3 feet. And then whenever we have green and zero, it automatically knows we've finished the hole. So we can see from that, it will start to update the data here. So we can start to get some data in each of these as we go through. If you do want to keep up to date with where you are, we've got this shot-by-shot analysis at the bottom. And if there are any errors, you can just hit this undo button and that'll undo the last shot. This should work really well. I've been testing it as much as possible. What I would say is really, really complicated to build one of these. Just to show you some of the code, this is just so the undo button works. All of this code is needed. So there's probably a few edge cases that we haven't got in here, but I really hope it's useful for you. As a coach, I really believe that all players should have access to great data. So I'll keep this free, and yeah, give me a shout if I can improve at any point.